Welcome to Ganga today. The states of Bihar and Bengal are facing huge floods on the Ganga river. A number of people, including Chief Minister Nitish Kumar of Bihar, hold that the problem of flood is because of the Farraca barrage, because the flow of the Ganga is obstructed by the Farraca barrage, and because of this, the sediments start depositing upstream the Farraca barrage, which makes it even more difficult for the Ganga to carry the water. In order to assess this problem, the government of Bihar had given an assignment to Dr. Rajiv Sinha of IIT Kanpur to assess what is the nature of sedimentation. Sedimentation means the amount of sand or the sediments that are deposited in the bed of the river Ganga. Dr. Sinha has found that the stretch of Ganga in Bihar from Buxar to Patna is already choked. It is already full with sediments and it does not have much capacity to absorb any more sediments. This area of the Ganga is like a bucket full of sand. If you pour more sand-laden water into the bucket, then the water along with the sand will pass through and go out because there is no space in the bucket to absorb or hold more sand. In a similar manner, from Buxar to Patna or Gandhi Ghat, the entire stretch is already full of sediments, and whatever sediments are brought by the Ghagra or the Ganga are basically carried over to the stretch beyond Patna. Now, Dr. Sinha also says that the Farraca barrage has changed the dynamics of the flow of the river. He points out that in Bhagalpur, he has seen a huge amount of sedimentation, which is, in my opinion, influenced by the Farraca barrage. He has also found that from Patna to Farraca, the sedimentation is increasing, but it is not visible because the Farraca barrage has created a huge pond which is about 80 kilometers long. The sediment that is coming from Buxar and Patna is getting settled inside this pond. So on the surface it is not visible, but it is getting increased and the underground or the underwater level of sediments is rising, and which is making it more difficult for the Ganga to carry the sediments. From these two observations, it is clear that Ganga is bringing sediments. They cannot be held up to Patna and they are getting deposited between Patna and Farraca. Now the question which is perplexing is that what is the solution? A number of observers say that if we allow the floods to take place, if we remove the Farraca, increase the velocity of water and allow the flood waters to come, then the velocity and power of the flood water will flush the sediments into the sea, clean up the bed of the Ganga, and in the subsequent years the flood will be less. On the other hand, Dr. Sinha does not agree with this. Dr. Sinha says that when the flood is coming, it is bringing the sediments with it. And therefore, during the flood, more sediments will get deposited in that area, and that may lead to increase in the sediment and yet more increase in the floods. So what he is saying is, you have flood, you have more deposition of sediments, and that leads to less depth of the water in the river, and that leads to more floods. So floods add to floods. On the other hand, the observers say that if you have more floods, it will flush the sediments into the sea and clean up the river. I think that the position of the observers is more likely to be correct. The reason being that if the floods were only depositing sediments, then in thousands of years, when the floods have been taking place, the entire area should have been full of sediments today. The very fact that the river has a channel and the sediments have not completely filled up the channel is itself a proof that the floods do not only deposit the sediments. The floods have two functions. One, they bring more sediments and they deposit, but at the same time they also carry the sediments. So the total picture is, by allowing the floods to take place, we will be adding to the capacity of the river to flush the sediments. However, if more floods take place and we obstruct the flow of those waters at Farraca, then the floods will have a totally different dynamics. What it will mean is that because of the flood, the Ganga is bringing more sediments, but because of the Farraca, it is not having the velocity to flush the sediments. In that kind of a situation, the monsoon floods can lead to more deposition of sediments. So my conclusion is that we need to do two things. One is we need to allow the floods to take place so that the sediments can be flushed. At the same time, we need to redesign Farraca barrage so that the flow velocity of the river is not obstructed. Unless we do both these things, the problem of sedimentation between Patna and Farraca will not get solved, and the situation of floods will continue to get worse. Please do not forget to share this post, like this post, and for more information visit our website, and please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you.